Hi guys, it's so great to see you. I'm so glad you're there and safe. You know, there are people who don't have God in their life yet until they need God. And then they're mad that God's not there when they have not yet invited God into their life. When they're at their wits' end and their life is crashing in around them, then they pray. And it goes something like this: God, if you're there, help me, and I promise I'll never be in this situation again. You know, my kids and I have this thing where they'll say, oh, please, Mom, if you do this for me now, I'll never ask you for anything ever again. Or they'll say, please, Mom, just this once. Right. I guess you guys have probably never done that, huh? Yeah. Well, some people still think that there's a time and a place for God. And every time and every place is God's. You know, I've people in my life, I know you do too, who haven't yet chosen the Christian path. And I say yet because I have a lot of hope. And some will call me and say, now, you pray, right? Like, absolutely. Well, can you pray for this or that or the other thing, whatever it is? And I always think to myself, yes, absolutely, I would love to pray for you. But you know what? He would love to hear from you directly. And I'm not the one with the power. He is. But just the fact that they know that that's powerful is awesome. You know, I used to go to McDonald's every day, and this is like 7 days a week, for a latte. And I got to know the people there pretty good. We were pretty friendly, and I thought, okay, I got to step this up. And so one day I said to one of them, they handed me my drink, and I said, you know, I'm on my way to work. Can I get you anything? And you know, they looked at me and said, well, where do you work? And I said, I work at the church. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, no, really. You know, should I just send up a good word about you, which I do, or is there something in particular that I could pray for? And most of them are just stunned at that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, good word. And I head on. But after a couple of times, some of them would actually open up and say something to me. So they'd hand me my drink, and I'd say, so anything for me today? And sometimes not, but sometimes they would say, oh yeah, you know, my mom, da-da-da, or this or that. And awesome. I know you guys pray for people too. And I think it's so important. It's one of the greatest gifts we can give. And of course, prayer is our superpower. But to tell people that you're praying for them, or ask them if there's something in particular you could say on their behalf, because you do pray for them, that has so much power, and it is such a great example. And people know and will know that we're Christians because of our love. And that is so inspiring and so incredible. Let's say a prayer, you guys. God, help us to share the love that you have with those who need it, which is everyone. Help us to be the example in a world that so needs one. Help us to intercede for those who do not know you yet. We lift you our hurts and worries, Father, those we share and those we do not. Help us to spread your word and love, one person at a time, and take advantage of all the opportunities in our day. In your precious Son's name we pray. And all God's children say, amen. See you next week, guys.